Hey, welcome back, subscribers, to my world of stocks. My name is Ali, of course. So, we all know that Amazon has invested heavily into Rivian stock, an electric automobile company. But did you know, too, that last quarter, they actually purchased an electric aerospace company, too, a publicly traded one? It's an EVTOL company, flying vehicles, called Beta Technologies. And Amazon just invested hundreds of millions of dollars in them in a single quarter. Now, this company isn't just targeting public use either, by the way, but instead they're also landing big contracts with even the US military too. And so, as both an Amazon shareholder and a heavy tech investor too, oh, you know that we got to run through this whole situation here. And I will do my best to explain for you guys what this all means for Amazon, why they'd be choosing to invest in a company like this, and we'll even talk about whether I would consider buying Beta stock myself to follow in Amazon's footsteps. So if that sounds good to you, smash that like button. Lets me know you enjoy update videos like this once in a while on new and exciting tech stocks out there. But with all that said, let's just go ahead and jump straight into it. Okay, so taking a look at the purchase here, this is coming from their 13F filings from the most recent quarter. And we can see that this was a new addition to their $3.5 billion portfolio, where Amazon added over 11 million shares during the quarter, valued at over $330 million. It's now worth more than 9% of their overall portfolio. Now, you may notice too, though, if you look over there at their average buy price, well, they actually bought in pretty high at more than $28 per share, which means Amazon is actually down by a giant amount right now, around 50% on their position. Well, that makes this way more interesting to look at now for any of us on the sidelines to know that Amazon actually bought in at much higher prices than where the stock is trading today. And I will cover all of that for you here in just a second. We'll pull up the stock chart, we'll take a look at that price, the valuation, and more. But first, let's just quickly cover why Amazon would even choose to invest in a stock like this in the first place. Well, we know how much Amazon cares about future potential, right? In fact, they care so much about their future growth that it's even been, I would say, their biggest criticism since inception, where the bears have always argued that Amazon doesn't take current profitability seriously enough, always pouring the money back into the business while investing in new technologies, new startups, and even trying to enter as many new different tech markets as possible, spreading themselves out, maybe at times a little thin, instead of just putting all of their focus on whatever brings in the most cash flow right now. But that's not Amazon. And it's really why I've always invested in them myself, because as an investor, as a long-term investor, I should say, I actually love the fact that they put so much emphasis on growing larger so that in the future, they can end up really dominating these different markets, dominating the competition too, who I feel have in many ways, many times, been too complacent to keep up with Amazon. Well, one of the most exciting technologies of the future is not just in the electrification of autonomous vehicles, automobiles, but also in aerial travel, cargo delivery, all that type of stuff too, up in the air, which is a market that is expected to skyrocket, by the way, by more than 20% growth per year, while more than doubling in size by 2030, growing by tens of billions of dollars. That's a lot of growth to be had there. And that's just to start, of course. Like, I know it's really hard to envision all of this right now because of the earliest of stages that we're in, but in the future, longer term future, there's really no telling how big of a market something like this could eventually become, if you can at least try to envision it. Well, Beta, of course, is a giant play on all of that, as they aren't just another flying taxi startup like we've seen others pop up, more recently. But in fact, they're building really a full scale electric aviation ecosystem where they aren't just making the planes, but they're making the propulsion systems, the fast charging networks that really power the entire industry. And they've even spent years developing autonomy, combining their internal research and development with near Earth autonomy's certified perception and guidance systems to create an integrated autonomous platform. And so if you think about Amazon's massive logistics network, their move into Beta here, I would say, just makes perfect sense when you put that into context. And it even lines up with everything that Amazon has already been building towards for so many years now, with their push into electrification, including their own EVs, the Rivian investment, The acquisition of the autonomous robotaxi company Zoox, which continues to grow larger, all the robots that they've been implementing into their factories. These weren't just one off moves. I really see them as the first kind of initial steps into modernizing their entire network, with now a giant stake in Beta potentially being the next piece to much of that. Because what if one day Amazon just decides to actually start using these flying vehicles to even deliver their cargo in a much faster, cleaner, cheaper way through the air? It makes a lot of sense. Again, it does sound a little crazy right now because it's hard to envision that distant future, but you have to consider that Amazon is always trying to stay well ahead of the competition before they even have a chance to catch up with them. And the only way to do that is to keep innovating and investing heavily into new technologies like this, which I would argue Amazon is one of the few companies out there that has the size and the incredible financial strength to be able to do that, to make these type of bets that they can afford to lose. Which, by the way, it's not just Amazon either that is seeing this as a kind of future vision, as Beta currently holds a massive civil aircraft backlog of close to 900 units, and it's valued at a staggering $3.5 billion, with huge customers already lined up, like UPS, United Therapeutics, which is focused on organ transport, the US Air Force's major defense partner, and several more. They even just signed a 10-year $billion deal with Eve Air Mobility to provide them with motors too. And they're catching the attention of even other investors like GE Aerospace, who recently made also a $300 million investment in them, thus validating their tech even more. I mean, when you have essentially the world's largest logistics company in Amazon and one of the world's most legendary aerospace companies in GE, well, both backing the same horse here, you got to figure that there's probably something valuable worth owning there that they're seeing. And yet, with all of that hype and all of that excitement, the stock has actually been, would you believe, a terrible performer post IPO, where it's already lost around half of its entire value in only about half a year's time. And it all has to do, I would say, with the volatility that you often get from speculative startups like this that can experience giant swings both up and down, depending on how much importance the market is putting on their current financial performance versus their longer term future potential at any given time. Where right now, for example, macro conditions are absolutely terrible for a startup like this, as lingering inflation, high interest rates, global conflict, trade disputes, and more are not only scaring investors into safer alternatives, but it's just making for a very difficult operating environment as a whole, where borrowing costs that these type of companies tend to rely so heavily on gets much more expensive. And while sales are at least starting to trickle in now for the company, with about $35 million produced last year in sales, it was up 135% year over year, but the market cares much more about the giant losses that were many times larger and nearly $750 million. In other words, like most startups, Beta is burning cash at a very high rate in order to invest in their future. Now, one saving grace, though, is their balance sheet. It does carry over $680 million in cash, plus another $1.1 billion in expected IPO proceeds, giving them a pretty decent $1.7 billion runway. But the question is, how long will it be until the $3.5 billion in orders actually turns into profitable deliveries that keeps this company from going under? Now, personally, I'm not so much worried about that, as I don't think that we would be seeing all of this giant backing from these huge players if they didn't actually feel that this company could deliver. Which, to their credit, by the way, Beta has made a ton of progress. They were actually just recently selected this past month by the FAA and the US Department of Travel to participate in their EVTOL program, deploying aircraft in 26 states. That includes not just testing, but actual cargo deliveries too, with most of their biggest hurdles being regulatory approvals that should eventually get passed. They've also done a good job of leveraging military funding to de-risk a lot of their commercial development, where through the Air Force's Agility Prime program, Beta was the first developer to deliver a manned electric aircraft to the service, while also advancing the development of their new A250 military-grade cargo drone with a 2,000-pound payload capacity. And they're also on track to produce significant autonomous flight data by late this year through their partnership with Near Earth Autonomy. I mentioned them before, potentially leading to the first uncrewed cargo routes soon after. And they're even scaling up their 188,000 square foot facility in Vermont to reach a 300 aircraft production capacity per year, which is pretty high. But the issue for me personally remains I just own already too many spec stocks as it is, to where I don't really have the need to add another that currently trades, by the way, thousands of percents higher than the sector based on sales. Obviously, that could easily change in the future. Again, we're just in the very earliest of stages right now. Once this company scales up much larger, yeah, that valuation is going to be dramatically different than how it's looking right now. But for me personally, it is still a pass because I just don't really have the room for another one like this in my portfolio. But in conclusion here, I will just say a couple things. Seeing Amazon allocate a huge 9% of their portfolio to this one stock, I do think is a big vote of confidence that any investor should be happy to see. But I would just caution you that, for a giant behemoth like Amazon, this is still a tiny bet for them that they could easily afford to lose. Whereas, any smaller retail investors out there like you and me would obviously get hit much harder from something going wrong with this stock. And because of that, I would only ever treat this as a high risk, high reward kind of moonshot type of spec play, where getting the stock for literally half of what Amazon paid is very tempting, but I would only take that play acknowledging the risk that comes along with it too, which I think you should be aware of if you even consider a stock like this. Like I said, though, it's not one that I'm betting on myself right now. I just have other spec stocks, spec plays that I feel more confident in and that demand a lot of my attention that I kind of just don't even have the time and energy to add another one like this that I feel I would really need to stay on top of like day to day. But I can also understand why others may want to take a chance on it early on for what this company could grow into in the future. But which side of the fence are you guys on? Do you think beta will just kind of continue crashing, maybe even head all the way down to zero in the future? Who knows? Or do you feel that it could just as easily 10x in price over the next decade, providing giant returns? I'd love to hear your thoughts down below. But either way, I wish you the best of luck with any decisions you make out there in the market. And I hope you enjoyed this video. Got to look at a new stock today. I've never covered this one before on the channel, so it was kind of fun. Hope you enjoyed it. Got more videos coming for you very soon, though, so make sure you're subscribed. And I will see you guys in the next one. Take care, my friends. Bye-bye.